Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I am Julia, and as always, I am here with my friend John. Today, we have a very interesting topic. We are going to talk about lying. Yes, lying. We all know it, and we all do it sometimes, even a little bit. Some lies are big, and some lies are very small. But why do people lie? Is it always bad? Today, we want to think about this together with you. I think this topic is fun, but also a little bit tricky. So, John, are you ready to talk about lies today with me?
Hi, everyone. Yes, Julia, I am very ready. Honestly, this is a great topic for me because I think about it a lot. Everyone lies sometimes, even good people. Children lie, adults lie, and even our friends lie sometimes. But there are many different reasons for lying. Some reasons are kind, and some reasons are not so kind. I think it will be interesting to look at real examples today. We can also talk about how we feel when someone lies to us. So let's start this fun conversation and learn more about why people lie in daily life together.
Okay, let's start with an easy question. John, what is a lie? Can you explain it in simple words for our listeners? I think a lie is when a person says something that is not true. The person knows it is not true, but they say it anyway. For example, if I eat the last cookie and my brother asks me, and I say I didn't eat it, that is a lie. I know the truth, but I don't say it. So a lie is different from a mistake. If you say something wrong by accident, that is not really a lie, right? I think the important word here is on purpose.
Yes, exactly, Julia. You explained it very well. A lie is something we say on purpose. We know the truth, but we choose different words. A mistake is different, like you said. For example, if I think today is Monday, but it is actually Tuesday, and I tell you it is Monday, that is not a lie. I'm not trying to trick you, I am just wrong. But if I know it is Tuesday and I tell you it is Monday because I don't want to go to work, then that is a real lie. So the key part is knowing the truth and choosing not to say it.
That makes sense. So now let's talk about why people lie. I think one big reason is fear. People lie because they are afraid. Afraid of what, you ask? Maybe afraid of getting in trouble, afraid of losing a friend, or afraid of feeling bad. For example, a student doesn't do homework and the teacher asks about it. The student is afraid, so they say, "My dog ate my homework." This is a classic lie because of fear. I think many children learn to lie this way first because they are scared of punishment. Do you agree that fear is a very common reason, John?
Yes, I completely agree. Fear is probably the #1 reason for lying, especially for children. Nobody wants to feel punished or get shouted at, so lying feels like an easy way out. But adults do this too, not only children. For example, an employee is late for work. The boss asks why, and the employee says there was terrible traffic, but really they just woke up late. This is fear of getting in trouble with the boss. I think this shows that fear doesn't stop when we grow up. We just find new, more grown-up situations to be afraid of.
That's a great example, John. Okay, let's talk about another reason, protecting someone's feelings. This is often called a white lie. A white lie is a small lie that doesn't really hurt anyone. For example, your friend cooks dinner for you, but the food doesn't taste very good. Your friend asks, "Do you like it?" What do you say? Many people say, "Yes, it's delicious," even if it's not true. This is because they don't want to hurt their friend's feelings. Do you think white lies are okay, John, or are they still a problem, even if they are kind?
That's a difficult question, Julia. I think white lies can be okay sometimes, because the goal is kindness, not tricking someone for personal gain. Nobody gets hurt, and it can protect a friendship. But I also think we should be careful. If we always say it's delicious, even when it's terrible, our friend never learns to cook better food. So maybe a better answer is something gentle but honest, like, "It's good, but maybe try less salt next time." This way we are kind, but also a little bit truthful. I think total honesty and total kindness together is the best goal.
I really like that idea, John, being kind and honest at the same time. Let's move to another reason people lie, to look good in front of others. This happens a lot on social media, actually. People post photos of a perfect vacation, a perfect house, or a perfect meal, but their real life is not always like that. They want other people to think their life is amazing. This isn't always a spoken lie, but it can still be a kind of lying, right? Showing only the good parts and hiding the rest? What do you think about this kind of lying, John?
I think that's a very modern kind of lying, Julia, and you're right to mention it. We call it showing a highlight reel sometimes. People want to impress others, get more likes, or feel important. This comes from a need to be accepted and liked by other people. I think everyone wants this a little bit, but some people take it too far. They create a fake, perfect image online, and it isn't real. This can actually hurt the liar too, not just other people.
That's such an important point, John. Lying can hurt the person who lies, too. Let's talk about another reason now, to avoid an awkward or uncomfortable situation. For example, someone calls you, but you don't want to talk right now. You might say, "Sorry, I'm very busy," even if you are actually just relaxing at home. This isn't a big, harmful lie, but it helps you avoid an awkward conversation. I think many people do this in daily life without even thinking about it much. It becomes almost automatic, like a small social habit that helps conversations go more smoothly and quickly for everyone.
Yes, that's a very common one, Julia. I think we call these social lies sometimes, because they help daily life run smoothly. Another example is when someone asks, "How are you?" and you say, "I'm fine," even when you are actually tired or stressed. Most people don't want a long, detailed answer, so fine becomes an easy, polite response. This kind of lie isn't meant to trick anyone in a serious way. It's more like a small social rule that most people understand and accept without thinking twice. It keeps conversations short, polite, and comfortable for both people involved every single day.
Right, those small, polite lies are everywhere. Now let's talk about a more serious reason, lying for personal benefit or money. This type of lying is more selfish. For example, someone lies on a job application to get a job they don't really deserve, or someone lies about a product to sell it for more money. This kind of lying can really hurt other people because it's not kind or protective. It's just selfish. I think this is the type of lying that damages trust the most, especially in business or work situations. Would you agree that this is more dangerous, John?
Absolutely, Julia. I agree completely. This type of lying is much more dangerous because someone gets hurt, usually financially or emotionally. When we talk about white lies, the goal is kindness. But when we talk about lying for money or benefit, the goal is selfishness. This is the kind of lying that destroys trust between people, companies, or even countries. Once someone finds out about this kind of lie, it's very hard to trust that person again. I think this shows us that not all lies are equal. Some are small and harmless, but others can be very harmful and truly serious for everyone.
That's a great point about trust, John. Once trust is broken, it takes a long time to fix, doesn't it? Let's talk about something interesting now. Does everyone lie the same amount? I read somewhere that most people tell a few small lies every single day without even really noticing it. It could be something tiny, like saying, "I love your new haircut," when you don't really think so. I think small lies like this happen so often that we don't even count them as real lies anymore. What do you think, John? Do you think you lie every day? Even a little?
Honestly, Julia, yes, I probably do. I try to be honest, but I think small, polite lies happen almost automatically sometimes, like saying "no problem" when actually something was a little bit of a problem. I don't think this makes me a bad person, though. I think it just makes me human, like everyone else. Psychologists say that lying is actually a normal part of growing up and living in a society with other people. Babies don't lie because they don't understand it yet, but as children grow older, they slowly learn how lying works and when people use it.
That's really interesting, John, that babies don't lie because they don't understand it yet. So lying is actually something we learn as we grow. I read that children usually start telling simple lies around 3 or 4 years old. At first, the lies are very easy to notice because children aren't very good at it yet. For example, a child might have chocolate all over their face and still say, "I didn't eat any chocolate." As children grow older, though, they get better at lying and understanding what other people are thinking. This is actually connected to their brain development, which I find fascinating.
Yes, that connection to brain development is fascinating, Julia. Scientists say that lying actually needs some pretty advanced thinking skills. You have to remember the truth, think of a different story, and also think about what the other person believes. That's a lot of thinking happening quickly inside the brain. This is why very young children aren't good liars yet. Their brains are still developing these skills. As children grow, they get better at understanding other people's minds, which actually helps them lie more smoothly. It's strange to think that lying is connected to smart thinking, but that's what research shows us.
It really is strange, but also kind of amazing, John. Now, let's talk about how it feels when we know someone is lying to us. I think it feels really uncomfortable, right? When we find out a friend or family member lied to us, we feel hurt and confused. We start to wonder, what else did they lie about? This is why lying can be so damaging to relationships, even small lies. Trust is like a foundation for any relationship, and lying can slowly break that foundation. Once it's broken, it's very hard to feel completely safe with that person again, even if you still love them.
That's exactly right, Julia. I think the feeling of being lied to is one of the worst feelings in a friendship or relationship. It's not just about the lie itself, it's about feeling confused and unsafe afterward. You start checking their words more carefully, and that's exhausting for both people. I think this is why honesty is so important in close relationships, like with family, close friends, or partners. Even if the truth is difficult to hear, most people prefer honesty over a comfortable lie. At least with the truth, you always know exactly where you truly stand with that person.
I completely agree, John. Most people say they want honesty, even when it hurts a little. Now, here's a fun question. Are some people better liars than others? I think yes. Some people are naturally very calm, so their face doesn't show nervous signs when they lie. Other people get red cheeks, or they can't look you in the eyes, or their voice shakes a little bit. These are often called signs of lying, but honestly, they aren't always reliable. Some very good liars show no signs at all, which makes it hard to know for certain when someone isn't telling the truth.
That's true, Julia. There's no perfect way to know for sure if someone is lying. Even trained professionals like police officers can be wrong sometimes. I think this is because everyone shows nervousness differently. Some people get nervous even when they are telling the truth, maybe because they are shy or scared of not being believed. And some very confident liars can lie without showing any nervous signs at all. I think this shows us that we shouldn't judge people too quickly based only on body language. It's usually much more reliable to look closely at actions and facts over a longer period of time.
That's very wise advice, John, looking at actions and facts over time. Now, let's talk about lying in different countries and cultures. Is lying seen the same way everywhere in the world? I don't think so, actually. In some cultures, being very direct and blunt is normal, and small white lies for politeness are less common. In other cultures, being polite is extremely important, so people often say kind, gentle things instead of harsh truths, even if it means bending the truth a little bit. I find this really interesting because it shows that lying isn't only about being a bad person, it's also connected to culture.
Yes, that's a great point about culture, Julia. What is considered polite honesty in one country might be considered rude bluntness in another country, and the opposite is also true. For example, in some cultures, if someone asks, "How do I look?" people often expect a kind, positive answer, even if it's not perfectly true. In other cultures, people expect a completely honest opinion, even if it might hurt a little. So I think understanding culture helps us understand why people communicate the way they do. It's not always about lying or truth. Sometimes it's simply about different social rules and expectations.
That's a really helpful way to think about it, John. Now let's talk about something a little more serious. How can we build a habit of being more honest? I think the first step is self-awareness. We should notice when we are about to say something untrue and ask ourselves why. Are we scared? Are we trying to protect someone? Are we being lazy? I think understanding our own reasons helps us choose better words next time. Also, I think practicing small, honest moments, even uncomfortable ones, helps us build confidence in telling the truth more often in daily life and relationships.
I really like that idea, Julia. Starting with small, honest moments. I think another helpful step is thinking before speaking, especially in stressful situations. When we feel pressured, our brain often wants a quick, easy way out, and that easy way is sometimes a lie. But if we pause for just a few seconds, we can often find a way to tell the truth kindly instead. For example, instead of lying about being busy, we could say, "I need some quiet time today. Is that okay?" This is honest, but still kind and respectful. I think practicing this takes time, but it's worth it.
That's such a practical tip, John, pausing before speaking. I also think it helps to remember that most people can handle the truth better than we expect. We often imagine the worst reaction, like someone getting very angry or upset, but in reality, most people appreciate honesty, even if it's a little uncomfortable at first. I think we sometimes protect people from the truth more than they actually need us to. Trusting others with honest information, delivered kindly, usually builds stronger relationships in the long run. It might feel scary at first, but I think it gets easier with practice. Don't you agree, John?
Yes, I completely agree, Julia. It's like a muscle. The more we practice honesty, the stronger and easier it becomes over time. I also think it's important to forgive ourselves when we do lie sometimes, especially small social lies. We're human, and perfection isn't really the goal here. The goal is awareness and improvement little by little each day. I think today's conversation shows us that lying is a very complex topic, with many different reasons behind it. Some lies are harmless, some are kind, and some are truly harmful. Understanding the difference helps us make better choices every single day.
That's a lovely thought, John. Forgiveness and practice together. One last question before we wrap up. Do you think a world with zero lies would actually be a good thing? At first, it sounds perfect, right? No tricks, no hidden secrets, everyone always saying exactly what they think. But then I imagine total strangers telling me my new haircut looks bad, or a boss shouting blunt criticism with no kindness at all. I'm honestly not sure a world with zero lies would feel very comfortable. Maybe the real goal isn't zero lies, but simply fewer harmful lies and more gentle, caring honesty between people every day.
That's such a thoughtful question, Julia, and I don't think a world with zero lies would actually feel very kind. I agree with you completely. A little tact and gentleness will probably always exist in human conversation, and that's okay. I think the real danger isn't small, kind white lies, it's the big lies that hurt people deeply and break important trust. So maybe our goal shouldn't be perfect honesty in every single tiny moment, but rather honesty in the moments that truly matter, combined with kindness in how we say things. That balance feels much more realistic and healthy for real daily life.
Well said, John. I think we've covered so many interesting points today. Fear, kindness, image online, culture, and even brain development. It really shows that lying isn't just one simple thing. It's actually a very complex part of being human. I think the most important lesson is to notice our own reasons for lying and try to choose honesty more often, especially in important relationships. Small, polite lies might always exist in daily life, but I think we can all work on being more truthful in the moments that really matter most, with the people we care about the most.
I agree completely, Julia. I think today's conversation gave us a lot to think about regarding our own daily habits. Maybe our listeners can try a little experiment this week. Notice one moment where they choose honesty instead of an easy lie, even a small one. It could be telling a friend their real opinion kindly or admitting a small mistake instead of hiding it. I think small changes like this can slowly build stronger trust in our relationships over time. It's a simple idea, but I believe it can make a real difference in how we connect with other people daily.
That's a wonderful idea for our listeners, John. A small honesty experiment this week. I think it's a simple but powerful way to practice what we talked about today. Before we finish, let's quickly remind everyone about the main reasons people lie that we discussed. Fear of punishment, protecting someone's feelings, wanting to look good, avoiding awkward situations, and sometimes personal benefit. Each reason is different, and each one teaches us something about human nature and relationships. I think understanding these reasons helps us be more patient with others and also more honest with ourselves about our own behavior every day.
Yes, exactly, Julia. Understanding these reasons really does help us be more patient with each other. I think today's topic reminds us that honesty isn't always simple, but it's usually worth the effort in the end. Relationships built on trust feel safer and happier for everyone involved. I hope our listeners learned something new today and maybe even think a little differently about the small lies in their own daily lives. This topic really shows how connected our words and feelings truly are. Thank you for such a thoughtful conversation today, Julia. I really enjoyed thinking through all of this together with you.
Thank you too, John. This was such a meaningful conversation, and I really enjoyed exploring this topic with you today. To all our listeners, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope you learned something new about why people lie and maybe even thought about your own small daily habits a little bit. Remember, honesty takes practice, but it truly builds stronger, happier relationships over time. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend and join us again next time for another interesting conversation. Until then, take care, be kind, and try to be a little more honest today.
Yes, thank you all for listening today. We really appreciate every single one of you who joins our podcast. Remember, nobody is perfect, and small mistakes with honesty are completely normal, so don't be too hard on yourself. Just keep practicing, keep noticing, and keep choosing honesty whenever you can, especially with the people you love the most. We will be back very soon with another new topic, so make sure you don't miss it. Thank you again, and goodbye for now, everyone. Take good care of yourselves, be kind to others, and we will see you all again very soon.